Everyone, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to talk about something about how we live and is it similar to how we die? Hi, my name is Abigail, here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at the end of life. Let's get into it today. I think that we kind of die kind of how we live. What I would see is something really common in patients. And when in reviewing the charts, I would find that they always when they kind of died a really tough death, meaning that they always kind of fought things, they kind of were not always agreeable to the treatments, they didn't really want to be bothered, and they just kind of felt like they took a long time to die too, because it was like they were trying to either let go of some of that they really weren't able to let go, they weren't able to get some forgiveness or something, all those things. They lived, they kind of died a hard death. Not that they weren't uncomfortable, but they might have had some other symptoms that popped up, and it's just like they were always fighting. They were always fighting for something. They lived a hard life, and by a hard life, I mean, people usually kind of quoted a hard life. They might have, they made certain decisions that made their life harder, whether it was in their control or out of their control. And when I saw that they were dying, in this way that wasn't easy for them, and learning how they just didn't live an easy life, it was just very interesting how it correlated. So, do we die how we live? Possibly. And what does this mean for you? Why am I even bringing this up? I really want to make sure you have a really good death. That's important, because every single one of us it's going to happen to every single one of us. And wouldn't it be nice to have a good death? But also, wouldn't it be nice to have a really good life until you get there? Because we're living here, we're doing this thing of life until we're dead. So why don't we make this a good life? And I believe my own professional and personal opinion on that is, when we take our energy and really turn it inward and really examine ourselves, really look at how we can heal the different components of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that may be, then we can live a better life. We can live a life that's more present. When we live a life that's more present, it has more meaning to us and the other people around us. And we can really be more cognizant of the decisions that we're making and how we decide to live our life on a day-to-day basis. Yes, there are many things that are out of our control that we can't control, of course, but we can choose to decide how we want to respond to certain situations, how we want to live our life in terms of how we decide how we're going to go about the day in our own terms. Even if it's something that, even if we go to a job that we don't like and we have to take care of responsibilities that we have to take care of to keep getting food on the table, we can choose how we show up for those, whether it's choosing to show up for them with a really bad attitude, or, feeling the pissiness and processing it and deciding to show up to that, thing that even it's annoying, with maybe a little bit of a better hope and expectation for what it could be like for you and other people there. So this is a short one, but it's something that I want you to just think about, because what I've seen in my professional experience is that how people live is sometimes how they die. And especially when it comes to not dying an easy death or a death of ease, it seems like sometimes these people also lived a life that didn't have much ease in it. And again, it may not have been in their control. But if we really look at it and examine ourselves and how we live our lives, we can then educate ourselves, become aware, and decide to live a little differently, and hopefully in a way that's more meaningful to us, and hopefully brings us more satisfaction, and hopefully some joy and some happiness in the meantime. Let me know if you have any thoughts, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Abigail. I'm here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at the end of life. I'll talk to you soon.